Steve Karkinen, and I'm the director of the West Central Montana Avalanche Center here in Missoula.
Okay. One of the reasons I wanted to talk to you, Steve, is because in the western states the last couple of months there have been several deaths by avalanche, both skiers and snowmobilers. I wanted to find out what the current conditions are in our area here in western Montana.
Yeah, it's been an unfortunate month. I think as of now we've had 14 people who've died just in the month of January alone in avalanche accidents in intermountain areas, both north of us and south of us. We've been fortunate here in western Montana in that the snowpack, we're actually calling our snowpack at moderate avalanche danger, which of course means that there are always dangerous pockets that you can find out there. And mostly we're concerned about either wind loading that's going on every time the wind blows up high or after recent storm snow. So we're mostly concerned about the interface of the old snow surface with every new snowstorm that comes in, particularly if it has wind with it.
Okay. Now, the other thing I wanted to ask you about is a couple of years back, there's a tragedy in Missoula, and they called it something that I hadn't ever heard about before, called an urban avalanche. 2 people, unfortunately, were killed, a couple injured. The whole community drew together to try to help during this situation. But if you could describe what caused that avalanche and the possibility that it could ever happen again.
Sure. And there was only one person who unfortunately died in that accident, and 2 others were seriously hurt, and one person who was caught, who triggered it, was able to get off the slab and did not get hurt. But thinking back to 2 years ago, we had record-breaking snowfall amounts in the Missoula Valley leading up to the day of that accident, which, as people recall who were in Missoula at the time, we had a blizzard going on at about the time that avalanche occurred on a Friday afternoon. So we had unusual conditions. We had a lot of snowfall already on the mountain. And the thing that really precipitated that accident was the fact that we had high winds, Hellgate Canyon winds out of the east, 30 to 40 miles an hour, which stripped a lot of the snow off of the eastern slope on Mount Jumbo and redistributed it on, the upper portion of the west face of Mount Jumbo, above the Rattlesnake Valley, and that definitely loaded up that gully that's up above the houses there on the west or on the east side of the Rattlesnake Drive where that accident happened.
So the possibility of that happening again, it would require lots of different things to happen, right?
Yeah, it was almost like a perfect storm because we hadn't had that much snow in the Missoula Valley in a number of years. It could happen again at some point in the future. We just don't know what to anticipate with climate change and the fact that 2 years ago we had severe winters here. Last year it was on the East Coast. We just don't know if that could happen again here. So, yeah, from my standpoint as an avalanche professional, that is an avalanche path under the right conditions, but we don't have anywhere near the snow. In fact, if you looked up on the hillside right now, you'd see grass poking up out of the snow, which is a good thing. And the elk are tromping around on that hillside up where it's steep enough to produce an avalanche, which also